Welcome to Verbal Peak Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. Today, we're talking about theory versus a system that you can actually see that a system is working through the actions of the people that the system was designed to affect. Part of it is going off the Willie Lynch documents. Another part is going off of a hand-me-down tradition that was handed down by slave masters, and to where that system has become a part of your fabric that needs to be cleansed or washed out. Give you an example. As the minister said, if a man won't treat you right, he won't teach you right. That's a fact. Let's go back, because we always have to go back to the root of the problem in order to solve the problem. Now, Willie Lynch, slave trader in the Caribbean, came to Virginia to teach the slave owners how to make more money off their slaves and how to make the slaves be more productive and to solve the problem of runaways. He used the system of division, divide and conquer. Divide the older slaves from the younger slaves. Create division between the light skin and the dark skin. Create division between the male and the female. The younger female and the older female. Basically anything as to where you see a melanated people that's gathered together. But let's go amongst that melanated flock. And for instance, he said, okay, 20 over here has what they call kinky hair. These 20 over here have straight hair. Make them fight against each other. Create some type of division. Let's say the one, oh, you have kinky hair? Okay, you have strong hair. You got straight hair? Oh, that's that weak hair. So we're going to raise up the kinky hair for a time to put down the straight hair. Then we're going to raise up the straight hair and put down the kinky hair. Keep them fighting against each other. That way, they'll be so busy fighting amongst each other, they'll never see or pay attention to what we're doing or what we're controlling, the meat of the matter or the substance. They want to control daily substance or what they call your daily bread. They want to control what's vital to survival. They want to control the narrative while you fighting each other over what they give you, because whatever they give you, they ultimately control. Whatever it is, if they give it to you, they control it. That way you don't get out of hand. You'll fight amongst each other for the weapons they make, for the money they make, for the shoes that they make. They might put a black name on it, but they owning the leather company. They owning the vital materials that it takes to make it. You might put your name on it and call it something, but the vital elements, material, metals that it takes to create the thing, they're going to make sure they own it. You have a slave mind if you don't know anything about who you are, your history. And I'm not just talking about the history of the sojourn here in America. I'm talking about pre-slavery, where you gave knowledge to the world, where you gave them knowledge and lift them up to a living perpendicular, where you put them on the square, where they could square their actions from living a beast life and brought them into the light of civilization. We talking about how you built the first universities, but we also talking about how they can't, for their own survival, they can't let you know that you built the first universities. They can't let you know that they despise you. So they come together. Black man sitting on this mom's porch, police arrives. He said, I'm at home on my property. Now let me show you where this attitude comes from. When the police arrive, and he asks a black person, let me see your ID. And he says, for what? I'm on my land, on my property. What do you need to see my ID for? State your business. Explain yourself. Because that is a genetic DNA coding that's in our memory banks or our Akashic records. We naturally, and we are supposed to ask that question, what do you want my ID for, or why are you harassing me on my property, or if I'm in my vehicle and I feel as though I haven't violated or broken any law, then what do you want? Because in our heart, we were here first, and we was always free, except for that period, that over 450 years of slavery in America. But prior to the millions of years we've been on the planet, you don't just forget, meaning, let's put it like this. You didn't just pop up on the planet and become who you are. You had to have a father. He had to have a father. He had to have a father. That's why they tell you every time you got, when you go to the doctor, does it run in your family? Well, my great-grandfather had this. They giving you a hint. You are your father, going back until the first man walked this planet in Africa. So, don't forget that period of time that we sojourned in America was the most horrific and horrible period in humans' history. In man's, not mankind, in man's history. So don't forget that fact. So the narrative has to be, if I can, and we going back to the Willie Lynch, if I can break you down and remake you like they do in the military, and then feed you what I want or how I need you to behave, then that's what needs to be done, because they can't take the position of helping black people without their own demise. And black people can't be so afraid to take the position that they held when their forefathers ruled the planet, based out of fear, because you will choke out your own self. Meaning everything grows. Now we're going back to nature. You plant the seed, it has to grow or it dies. Growth in black people is not just physical growth where you're getting taller. It's knowledge, spiritually, mentally growth. And that's as important, if not more important, than physical growth, because you cause things into existence. So if you have a slave mind, you will keep calling slave situations into existence that's actually detrimental to yourself. It's not detrimental to me, even though out of passion or compassion, I wouldn't want to see my brother or another black person acting and living out a slave life when there's so much freedom around here. So my duty is to find a way to unlock that mind, that old mind, and the mind's so old that it became rusty. But I would have to find a way to unlock that mind so you can enjoy freedom on this earth within the time span that you have standing on this planet. So if I say the way you think was given to you by a slave master who hated you, he gave you your mind, that's why you look at another black person and you might envy that black person. Or you might say, look at him or her, who do they think they are? Or that person might get something new and you don't know why you can't stand it, even hate to look at it, and don't even want them to talk about it because you feel a certain way about it, and God gave his blessings upon that individual. And you hating, and that's where the term hating comes from, is from the divide and conquer that was purposely done so you could hate your brother or your sister because it benefited the slave master. It benefited the slave master for black people to hate each other, because then you all would create a prison amongst yourselves, and if one tried to break free, he could always count on and depend on the other to pull him back in. Slave mind. You know, a slave mind is just as deadly as a weapon, as a gun. That slave mind will knock out other people's possibility and their desire for freedom, because that slave mind, he don't know why he don't want to see you free. He think if you trying to be free, that you're trying to be better than he is. Or let's put it like this. You on a plantation. slave master calls a slave over, come here, Buck, take my old suit jacket. It's a little worn, thin, but toe got holes in it, but I think you should have it. Now, son was happy because he thinking, man, if I put a master's suit on, I can go get anime over here. But the other guy, he might like anime. He don't want to see you coming around in the slave master suit, using that as a tool to get to anime. And then he sees the way you strut around in the suit. And then he'll say, man, look at this slave nigga over here, this old Uncle Tom nigga. Slave give this nigga a suit jacket. Slave master give this nigga a suit jacket. And he is happy as the sun. But they don't know that was the whole purpose of the slave master even giving him the suit jacket. To create the division amongst the two. Now you got stuff stirred all up like you see on these reality shows. That's where that come from. We gotta create a narrative to where y'all are in disharmony and this unity. Have you all fight about it, and white folks sit back and watch, and then they amen it. Yeah, I told you niggas was like that. Because that same narrative, they use different faces. Let's put it like this. They jack you for a horse back then and jack you for a car today. Nothing changed. They might put makeup on the sisters on these reality shows and comb and have their hair combed, but it's still the same narrative back in the time of you two can't get along. You can't get along with your man. Matter of fact, it's okay, put it like this. It's like you sleep, dead sleep, and somebody whispers in your ear, you hate the black man. Why you hate the black man? They hypnotizing you. You wake up, look over there at your black mate and be like, man, I hate this nigga. He might be over there sound asleep and wake up and be like, damn, why you staring at me like you want to take a knife to me or something? You dig what I'm saying? Basically, they were putting subliminal messages because they was using, okay, put it like this. We wasn't allowed to learn to read or write, right? So we couldn't discover all the truths behind, we couldn't discover the truth to knock out his falsehood. We're in his language or his context, but we were smart enough to judge by actions or by moves, or if he looked to the left, he lying. If he looked to the right, he was still lying, but okay. So we had to develop a science too by checking out body language or behavior so we could know which way to maneuver. So in his science that he was studying, he was saying, okay, well, if people are prone to do this, and this over 90% of the time, if you put this in front of them, then probability is I can look at that and I can set something up to where 90% of the time they'll walk right into it. But they can't know that. So what he do is we fighting over each other, but we don't understand he already knew the one to give the suit to and the one who not to give the suit coat to. He knew the one in the field that he called over. He knew that they respect him. But if I put my suit jacket on him, I got my essence on him, and it'll create doubt amongst the others. And then the one who is most vocal against slavery or being in bondage or the greater threat will be the one who will speak out against it. So I'm killing two birds with one stone, so I can take the verbal vocal one out who speaks against it, and I leave the one who got my essence on him, who they respected, because now that's going to create doubt. The one who he took out for verbally speaking out was telling the truth. So that's Jesus. He's going to die for that truth. He gone. But that truth was so strong within the others, where you had one who spoke out, now you got three. He don't understand that, and if you take out one of those three, now you're creating 10. Because the truth was here before the slave master was even on the planet. Before he even existed. The truth was here. You can't kill truth. You can mix it up a little bit and try to trick it. But in time, since the universe is oblong and it rotates on its axis, it's going to come right back around again, 360 degrees, right back in your face. And this time it's coming back with a vengeance. But since you didn't understand all of the, as Elijah Muhammad said, we only gave you one book of mathematics. So since you didn't understand all of the sciences, you mastered one science. And like Minister Farrakhan said, we applaud you for mastering that one science. But it's 59,999 other forms of higher mathematics that you don't even have your hands on. That's in the Akashic records of the melanated people. So you don't think that out of your one book of mathematics, that time wouldn't catch up to that one or that one book would overexert itself. You putting so much pressure for that one book, or you putting so much pressure on that one donkey to pull that plow, and you want that one donkey to cultivate 6,000 acres, and it's on his last leg, and you steady trying to, because you so into protecting the lie that you don't even look at the condition or don't take the time to heal or even check on the donkey. You don't even know where to repair the donkey, whether the donkey need repair, the healing, because you're so into protecting or covering up the lie. So it's not black people that's the problem. It's protecting the lie that's the problem. You can't stop the earth from rotating on its axis because you didn't put it up there. And you didn't have the science to put it up there Just like you didn't build the pyramids and you don't have the science to rebuild the pyramid. So basically, what we're saying is, if you a melanated person on this planet, and I'm not just talking about black people in America, I'm talking about black people in Mexico, Caribbean, throughout the world. Because you've been conquered. We all been conquered by the same. Example, Spanish. I know a bunch of my Mexican friends who've never been to Spain, but they say they Spanish. I know a lot of blacks in America who claim to be English and ain't never been to England. Titles that was bestowed upon you by your conqueror. Now, this is not any type of hate teaching at all. This is in what we do, and it's not even about myself. What we do is give an antidote to people that have been bitten by the serpent. And this is not the only antidote, and it might not be the most potent of the other antidotes that's throughout the universe, but it's one that can help. And that's all that we're trying to do, is help in a situation, because you, after a while, if you are alive or conscious, meaning if you awoke, if you got a brain, if you got a mind, and you tuning in on your television or your matrix box to lock you in or whatnot, you will see, or you will get tired of seeing black males attack. I mean, it's a frenzy. It's sitting on your mother's front porch, and you can tell how sick it's getting, because you will find those black and white who still would defend it. They would say, when they come to you, do what they say. Bow down is what they say. Bow down so you can live. And that's some sick advice. You mean to tell me your mother carried you 9 months? You took all that time swimming up the fallopian tube, fertilizing the egg, coming into existence, learning about the sun, moon, and stars, the universe of God, learning about Master Farad Muhammad, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Minister Farrakhan. You learning about all the other scholars that's been teaching, from Garvey, Noble Drew Ali. You spending time learning all of this just so you could bow down. It doesn't make sense. Do you speak truth to power? Or do you speak truth to an unjust power? That's the only thing that'll balance it out, or the only thing that'll set the ship on its right course, is guided by truth. This is Verbal Pick Radio. We'll keep coming at you. Don't forget to check out the book Consequence by Vince Cole Muhammad. Don't forget to go to cdbaby.com/COLBLAC, or just Google COLBLAC. And as I stated before, Coal Black is not a name. Coal Black is actually an essence. Before the sun was put in the sky, it was cold. And as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, God created himself out of triple darkness. So it was black. Cold black is an essence. It's not actually a name. I'm just going under the title in which this universe was created in, because I'm enjoying my time on God's planet. Verbal Pick Radio, we out.